There's all kinds of bait in the water out there trying to tell you the valuation multiples on your practice. I want to simply say, beware. If you bite down on that hook hard, you might find yourself getting reeled in on a deal that will literally undermine the entire career's worth of work that you have put into building your practice. If you don't understand all the gotchas that are in these deals and how the pricing is skewed in ways that is really a bunch of smoke and mirrors, it can really come back to bite you in the end. We spend a tremendous amount of time assisting advisors with mergers, acquisitions, successions, transitions, simply building your business with minimum risk and maximum growth. But to do it right, you have to understand the smoke and the mirrors from the reality.
Welcome to Future Zeros, a series focused on growing and monetizing your financial advisor practice with minimum risk and maximum value, adding zeros to the bottom line today and when it's time to monetize your practice. Your host is Mike Walters, CEO of USA Financial. He is an investment advisor representative of, and securities are offered through USA Financial Securities, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Not long ago, I ran across a business cartoon that really caught my attention. It was two fish floating there in the water, staring at a hook with a worm on it. And one of the fish says, "I don't know, Bob. Seems like there's always a catch." And then over there next to the worm, it says, "Unsolicited, unrealistic valuation multiples." That's a pretty good warning for pretty much every independent advisor who owns their own practice. There's no doubt your inbox on your email has filled up with all kinds of different solicitations and offers about the value of your business, and that there's, hundreds, if not thousands of different people standing in line to purchase your practice and, trying to tell you how much it's worth and so on. And while your practice is extremely valuable, it's not near as easy as people would try to make it seem to find an appropriate buyer, one that's actually going to make sense for you, for your staff, for your clientele, for the type of value that you are looking to extract, for the type of culture that you have built, for the fact that you care for so many people in your life, customers, employees, family, and otherwise, and that you want all of this to be taken care of properly, and when and how you might want to exit, or maybe there's an internal succession plan that you have in place, maybe there's next gen, maybe there's family, maybe you're looking at an external, maybe there's an advisor on the other side of town, maybe there's more of an aggregation opportunity with a group like USA Financial who will come in and buy your practice from you. There's all these different variations. But the problem is the bait on the hook is usually too good to be true. So for example, I actually received a solicitation, and then I had an advisor send me the exact same solicitation and ask me my thoughts on it, and I dug into it. And it was offering or projecting the idea that you were going to get this valuation multiple that was literally over twice what the going market rate is today. So at first glance, it's BS. However, if you don't track this stuff the way I do, if you're not helping advisors, through mergers and acquisitions, succession and transitions on a daily basis the way I do, you don't really know what the marketplace is. And you see a number or some multiple, and you just assume if they're putting it in print, it must be true, even though it's literally over double what the market would bring in real life. Well, as I dug into it and I explored it and I kind of poked around a little bit, what came to find out is, they're really only willing to buy one small subset of your practice, and that was the assets under management. They won't pay you for any of the rest of it. So you're basically giving a hunk away for free in order to get paid more than the normal street level on the remainder. And then the additional catch to it was, not only did you have to change the custodian and repaper, you had to join their TAMP program and repaper into that. And then within their TAMP program, the only thing you could invest in were the homegrown investment strategies that they had created themselves. So they were creating layer upon layer of profit on their side so that they could overinflate and offer to someone at the retail level, but then not extend that to the full practice. So only pay for maybe half of the practice, but get the full practice. So in other words, if you have half of your business is recurring revenue and half of your business is transactional revenue, you can sell the recurring side for this multiple that was way above the normal street level. You would have to give them this piece for zero, this transactional piece for zero. And then you would have to hyper focus the AUM side into a very tight niche that is a very biased niche of only one subset of investment strategies from one strategist. So you end up with bias issues, you end up with conflict of interest issues, you end up with a unrealistic or an unmorally honest valuation of your business, and right on down the list. So just because you see it doesn't mean the numbers are correct. If you want actual real numbers, you can go to something like the USA Financial Blue Book, which is a tool that we have created, and we kind of monitor the marketplace. And it's like getting a Blue Book value on your car. You can get a quick assessment as to what is the true overall valuation of your practice in the marketplace. It usually comes in about 1% to 3% range of a full-blown paid-for appraisal. So it's highly accurate. But you can also do that. You can go get yourself an appraisal. You can do a long-distance appraisal for probably less than $2,000, or you could do a boots on the ground, true blue, full blown business appraisal for probably more like 12 to 15 grand. There's all kinds of different solutions out there to help you figure out what the right numbers are, what the real numbers are. We're happy to help you here at USA Financial, but just keep your eye out. Make sure you don't bite the hook and then wish you had.
This information is for licensed financial professionals only and is not intended for use in soliciting sales from the public. The views expressed represent the opinions of the presenter or their featured guest, not necessarily those of USA Financial or its affiliated subsidiaries. Industry references are generic and are not intended to represent actions or beliefs of any individual or entity. Content is only presented to illustrate general principles, beliefs, or ideas and should not be construed as legal or regulatory advice. Trademark and copyright protected. USA Financial and Affiliates.